we have somebody who is going to talk about the Lakshmi part of Navadurga, the money part of it. It's an absolute privilege for us to have Nikhila joining us today. Nikhila, we'd like to understand more about you before we get into the further conversation.
Sure, sure. Firstly, happy Navaratri to everybody who's listening in. And thank you so much for inviting me and having me on the podcast. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to share my journey and my story of building a fintech company. So I'm a fintech entrepreneur, the co-founder of MoneyPlant. So MoneyPlant is an AI-driven patented platform that helps our users automate their financial goals and seamlessly manage their money and investments without any hassle. Well, I'm an engineer turned financial advisor turned entrepreneur. So it was a journey filled with a lot of unexpected twists and turns. And now that I look back, it all makes sense because, as they say, the dots connect backwards. So the seed that ignited this passion for money plant, I think, dates back to my childhood. I was born to bankers, so I saw up close how lack of financial planning disrupts families. However, I also had proclivity towards science and mathematics, so engineering felt like the obvious choice at that point. But I'm grateful for choosing the engineering path because it's given me a lot of exposure to various fields of technology and having the curiosity to understand products, how products are built from the ground up. Be it, learning how to code or understanding various core technologies. I think engineering really trained my mind to solve problems. And during my engineering, I explored multiple avenues of leadership. So I was the president of a 600-member road track club. I was in charge of hosting various fests, handling the finances of the fests. And a lot of my peers and my faculty have spotted my talent for leadership and also my love for finance and, managing people, getting people to do the job, handling the money. I was somehow gravitated towards, working with startups, the 0 to 1 journey, and I've interned with a bunch of startups as the head of marketing, product, and growth. And then it was a huge revelation for me that, this combination of engineering, management, and finance, if I could use this somewhere, I would really thrive. And that's how this journey started. And I found my co-founder and my co-founder Sameer, who's a BITS Pilani alumnus. We both of us got together. We realized that there's a huge gap in the market for a product that solves for holistic financial planning for individuals. And that's how we started working on Money Plan. And as I began my journey as an entrepreneur, I got some incredible opportunities to learn. I got selected into prestigious universities like Stanford, GSB, and by NSR Cell by IM Bangalore. And I've won the pitching competitions there, validated our value proposition, our business model, and the entire go-to-market strategy. And yes, so there was no looking back after that. So Samir and I built everything from the ground up. So from the product, the business model, and our patent, for the AI-driven financial planning. So perhaps we're one of the only fintechs right now that is doing this, and we are very passionate about this space and financial planning.
Amazing. One of the challenges that this particular industry is also looking at is somewhere there are a lot of things which are coming in at the same time. So looking at which
Right.
is the right product, why a particular product, and creating that particular differentiation within that particular space is also a very different challenge compared to when there were early days. So how you have seen this and how you are basically managing this, because pitching is one part, execution is also a very, very tough part.
Absolutely. You've very rightly pointed that out because in an industry like finance and fintech especially now, which is talk of the town, has been the talk of the town for a while now. I see that the industry as a whole is at a very exciting crossroads. And especially, I think if you know who your customer is and you know the problem that you're solving and you've carved a niche for yourself, I think there is infinite upside for a company with that level of clarity on both the consumers as well as the product that they're building. So with that said, there's a lot of AI and data-driven solutions, which are currently simplifying financial planning and making it much more accessible for the people. There is immense scope in this industry, and of course, the focus is shifting towards more personalized experiences and automation. And I believe that that's where the real growth lies. And I believe the next big thing will be, collaboration between traditional finance and tech, which will further, drive innovation and financial inclusion as well.
One specific question that I have that was in my mind for a very long period of time. See, in India, not many kids get exposed to finance or handling money right up front, right? Not everybody is
Right.
pretty open about talking about money in family as well, right? You hardly few other people know about how much their parents are really earning. So
Yes.
a generation which is coming from this particular background, I have seen a lot of them not very comfortable about talking financial with individuals and discussing with them. Is that particular space which is where the tech is playing a huge role, because this is something which is purely up to you. There is a guide who is absolutely non-judgmental. They are not going to discuss about you. But when you have all the information, you have all the right set of guidance, but without somebody judging you, or you having that particular reservation of talking to somebody, is that particular space which is what money plant is trying to capture?
Right. That's a very interesting question. You very rightly pointed out that a lot of people, I think across, age groups and demographics, they are not very comfortable discussing their finances. I think very few people are even comfortable, like maybe sharing how much they earn, right? Because it's a very personal thing. You wouldn't want to disclose how much you make, per month, what's your monthly income or your annual income, or where you're spending your money with a lot of people. I think, yes, there is still a lot of hesitation in giving putting your information out there and sort of at least expressing that, hey, this is how much I earn. But with the younger generations, what we're noticing is, especially the millennials and the Gen Zs, they are much more savvy that way. They don't mind sharing their information with apps. Maybe talking to somebody in person, maybe there might be a little bit of hesitance there, but then however, we're noticing that they're much more upfront, they're much more proactive, and they have very clearly defined goals. It's much easier interacting with them about their financial goals because they already have a semblance of clarity, and when they talk to you, they just want to sort of dive deeper and sort of get deeper clarity and understanding of their financial goals. So I keep saying this, in a lot of my sessions as well that I do with corporates, that the easiest and the greatest form of financial literacy is having awareness of your own financial goals first, because you can learn about the markets later, you can learn about which products are the best later, but first understand what do you want to do with your money, because that, in my opinion, is the easiest and also the greatest form of financial literacy. We keep talking about literacy a lot, but I feel that having understanding of what you want to do with your money, that should be your number one priority. And a lot of millennials and Gen Z are in the right direction. They are proactive, they're thinking about it the right way. They want to do a lot with their money, because the if you look at the earlier generations, the first goal was just saving for the long term, and which is great. And I think what they've done is fabulous. They've had that inherent financial discipline. But now I think the younger generation has a lot of goals. They want to achieve so many things. They want to travel. They have like a bucket list of experiences that they want to experience. And they want to buy a house, or I don't know, they want to buy a car. They also want to retire early. That is another very major goal, apart from the experiences, the vacations. They're looking for ways to retire early and to sort of have the passive income post, they stop working. So given there's a whole gambit of financial goals that have been added for this generation, so which is why it is all the more important for them to sort of understand what they want and how much money each of their financial goals takes. So definitely there, that hesitation of sharing has gone down a little. However, the level of planning required for this millennial and Gen Zs, that's a lot more now, which is exactly where money plan comes in and helps out.
That's a great articulation. The younger generation looking at multiple things in life, probably as the avenue happens, the awareness is also something which is very meaningful, and that is what is driving. Do you really see this particular adoption going much at the younger generation? How do you see typically the ones who are at the mid level of their career, which the generation is pretty fortunate to get pretty increased salary because of the whole changes thing happened and have that particular money
Correct.
available with them? But not many of them you really see looking at their personal goals compared to keeping something for the kids' education and the retirement. Beyond that, somewhere they appear to have missed out on a lot of goals. So, have you seen some of these experiences wherein once they start getting into this mode, they also realize that yes, I probably need to think on these lines as well?
Right, actually, yeah. So they're probably in the cusp, so there are a few people that have the best of both worlds, which is, of course, the saving and the discipline and thinking, long term, like, the older generation, and also not letting go of the experiences, not letting go of, fulfilling what you want to do with your money, like the younger. So there are people that strike a balance between these two and, like, kind of have adopted the best of both worlds. However, yes, like you very rightly pointed out, there is a lot of adoption from the millennials and Gen Z, because our app as well, I think I see so much organic engagement, and mostly from this segment, the millennial segment, and the younger crowd that is very naturally inclined to trying the very tech savvy, very digitally savvy. They want to sort of explore new apps and new applications, and especially when it comes to finances, they're all the more proactive. It's not like they want to stick to one thing and do that for the rest of their lives. They actually want to see, okay, what's better in the market. If they find a better solution for their money, they're willing to switch. The willingness to switch as well as explore is much higher. So definitely that is something we are seeing with the younger generation. But having said that, I think what we do have clients in the age group of 45 to 55 as well. And what we've seen with those clients is most of their savings so far has been limited to, say, fixed deposits or recurring deposits. And they have not gone beyond bank to sort of have more greater equity exposure, to invest in other asset classes. So that is something that, money plans sort of help them with, where we understood. Ultimately at Money Plan, everything starts with a plan, because we believe that you just cannot go about with investments for the sake of it. You need a plan, even if it's just for investing for the long term or for making a return. You need to plan out, what is your expectation of it? How long do you want to stay invested? What is the purpose? Because we believe in tying purpose with your money, because that's when you can also be, stress free and peaceful about your finances. Because otherwise, money is the number one cause of, worry and stress in the world. And that's something that we want to reduce. So, which is why everything has a plan. And when we plan for, people in the age group of 45 to 55, we've noticed that mostly it's, for wealth preservation, for retirement, and, for long term, for legacy wealth that they want to pass on to their children. And we help them, figure out based on their risk tolerance, their, their purpose of investment, their timeline. We understand what it is that they want to do with their money, and accordingly, recommend which asset classes are best for them. So definitely that segment has also been very interesting, because they have a lot of disposable income, but most of it is not is sitting in the bank, or it's sitting in an FD, where there could be, better performance in other asset classes. So we do recommend them, how to plan their money and invest as well. So that I think few younger generation people are able to get it, which is sort of blending the best of both worlds, of both long-term thinking as well as, enjoying the shorter term experiences.
That's great. I now want to come back to the personal part. Okay, I
Right.
you started you have said that you had this particular concept. You validated that concept at multiple levels. Then you have built it up, taking step by step, and then building it over a period of time. I would like, what would be your guidance to the startup owners who have some idea and want to build up their business?
Got it. Okay. So I think it's all about solving a problem that you're very passionate about, because at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is a journey that is, there's so many challenges that, constantly, feel like giving up. You will have every entrepreneur has their share of challenges, and every morning when you wake up, there is a new problem to solve. So the only thing that sort of, that's your anchor, and that sort of helps you stay motivated and committed to what you're doing is if you have a very strong desire to solve a problem. So if you're very passionate about a problem and you really want to solve it, and you will do it no matter what. And I think only then, take up that, path of entrepreneurship, because otherwise it's going to get lonely, it's going to get challenging. So if you have a problem that you're very, very passionate about, and you think that, solving this would make, would make you happier, then I think, yeah, there's no looking back. You should just, give it a go and just, not look back. And also have great mentors, have good partners. So good partners and good mentors can be game changing for you, because also seek people who've been there and done that, so that there's any challenge, they will know, they will know how to advise you and, sort of steer you in the right direction if you're, going in the wrong track. So definitely having great partners, great advisors, great mentors, really pays off. And more importantly than that, I think a lot of people have a misconception that entrepreneurship is about being your own boss. But actually, I feel it's not. It's your customer is your boss. So that's exactly how I treat any of my client calls. If there is something on my calendar that I have to interact with the client, they are the boss, and I, report to them. So having that attitude of, hey, how can I make this product or service better for my consumers at all times, and having that accountability to your customers, I feel is very important. So yeah, I hope that helps.
That's great. One thing that has changed within you from the time you started your graduation to the some of the engagements that you have had before you started Money Plant, and as you're growing, how you have evolved as an individual.
Oh, a lot, a lot. Well, when I was a student, I was, of course, I was very meritorious, and I studied very well. I had all these, good grades, awards, and all of that. But I think when I became an entrepreneur, I realized that none of it matters, because these were things that I took a lot of pride in, and back when I was a student. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I realized, you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares that I have studied in, XYZ college, or I am a topper, I'm a gold medalist, or I have XYZ awards. Nobody cares. And when you come to the market, it's a level playing field for everybody. The markets don't care about whether you're a topper or not. They just care about, are you able to deliver, value to your customers? That's all, anybody cares about. So it was kind of very humbling as well. I think I became a lot more humble than I was. I think entrepreneurship has, made me a much better person, to be honest. I think it's made me very patient. It made me very resilient, and much stronger than, I was before I started up. So I realized, nothing really matters. All your achievements, nobody cares about. Only you care about them, but actually nobody cares about it. All the markets care about is whether you're able to deliver a quality product or a quality service, and do that consistently. So, and for that, you need a lot of humility, you need perseverance, you need resilience, and you need a learner's mentality. You should always be curious, always be learning. So yes, I think I wouldn't have wanted to be anything else but an entrepreneur, given like how much this journey has changed me, and made me more grounded and more humble, and definitely more passionate and ambitious.
Great. The other factor that comes in is particularly we are looking at in institutes. There's a lot of discussion that is happening about entrepreneurship at college level, people starting it
Right.
early and building it over a period of time. What would be your guidance to those aspiring entrepreneurs?
Okay, so I think that's wonderful, because I remember even when I was a student, the exposure that I had to entrepreneurship fests, to events, that's what actually, ignited the spark of, entrepreneurship in me. So having you have infinite energy as a student, the level of passion, the level of the ability to work hard and just put your head down and focus, that's much greater when you are younger. So starting out when you're in college, I think is amazing, and it kind of helps you. You learn so many more things that will be useful for you, down the line as well. So I believe that students should grab as many opportunities as they can, to if entrepreneurship is what really excites them, then they should. And regardless, I think just exploring, entrepreneurship during your student years gives you, a lot of, interpersonal skills, a lot of technical skills, managerial skills that'll come in handy, as you know, just start your career, and even if you want to work somewhere else, all these skills are invaluable and they'll definitely come in handy. So all you have to make sure is solve a problem that you're very passionate about, because if you connect with the problem, then I think, and you will also build the solution with much more passion. So I guess just make sure that it's a problem or it's a solution that you connect with.
Amazing. Thank you so much for these candid answers and providing insights on your journey, as well as helping the student entrepreneurs realize what they need to do. I think we have a clarity in terms of where they can start, how they can build their business, and also you kindly express how they can ramp it up over a period of time to roll up different stakeholders in the business. So this is, to be very honest, a roadmap for somebody who wants to start their business. Thank you so much for these insights, Nikhila. Wishing you and your the team Money Plan all the very best.
Thank you so much.